So it says, what do they take for intercessors other besides Allah? Other besides Allah. So it's saying Allah is an intercessor. An intercessor is one who intercedes or involves themselves on behalf of another party towards a third party. So if you were my intercessor, right, before the judge, you would speak on my behalf before the judge.
So could you just look at Arabic?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I see.
Right. So am I being fair to the Quran that it's describing Allah as an intercessor?
Yeah.
I'm not twisting or being unfair, am I? No. So if the Quran is saying that Allah is an intercessor, who could Allah intercede to? Obviously, it would be on behalf of us. That's a given. But who is he interceding to if the Quran has described him as an intercessor?
I think in this context it's to do with those people that evoke or call for helpers.
Sorry, call for?
For helpers.
For helpers, yeah.
I think it's using it in that context.
So calling upon other gods.
Like a helper.
Yeah, but my point to you is that...
I think it's referring to like on the Day of Judgment.
But an intercessor is a specific thing, right? Now, the Arabic says intercessor, and the Quran says that it is pure Arabic, and the Quran says that it has no errors or mistakes, which means that any description that is given to Allah needs to be taken seriously. An intercessor is one who intercedes on behalf of one party for another party. Right? If Allah's not an intercessor, he shouldn't be described as an intercessor. So, for example, as fair comparison, there's no description in the Bible that the Father is an intercessor.
So I lost the reference.
Yeah, it's Surah 39, Ayah 43.
That's how Genesis is allegorical. All the mistakes in Genesis are big.
I look more into it.
Yeah, but do you? I mean, logically, I'm being fair. The Quran says intercessor, and you can check what an intercessor is one who intercedes between one party and another.
Advocate.
Yeah. So if there's no one to advocate to, you're not an intercessor, are you? Is that fair?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to point out to you is that the Quran has these linguistic gaffes, these linguistic mistakes, which if the Quran is supposedly free from error and contradiction, should not be there, right?
Yeah.
I'll give you another example of the same.
You said there was only two, because I wanted to introduce someone to a friend.
Yeah. Fair enough. As always, you always say you're going to come back to me and you never do.
Thank you.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
If I was nice talking to you, gave me some interesting points.
Yeah, one day we're going to compile a list of all those things you're coming back to me on.
Okay.
One day I would like you to come back to me on it. But yeah.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah. So guys, let's just be clear about what the Quran is saying, right?
Muslims are the Pharisees of our day. Just like the Pharisees of the days of Jesus, they will always come to Jesus and ask him questions, tempting him. But Jesus keep proving himself as God in flesh, answering their question, answering all their questions. But when Jesus will ask them just one question that will reveal his true identity as God in flesh, instead of for them to admit and accept the truth, they will see the truth clearly, but they will run away. As you can see, he just ran away. This is Muslim tradition. When they come face to face with the truth, instead of for them to accept it, they will run.
So in Surah 39:43, it describes Allah as an intercessor. I'll give you another example, an example of the same. So in Surah 32:4 describes Allah as a mediator. So let's go there and see what it says. It says this: it is Allah who has created the heavens and the earth and all between them in 6 days. Then he has established himself on the throne of authority. Ye have none besides him to protect or intercede for you. Now the Arabic could also be translated as mediator there, but this translation has used the word intercessor. It's saying that you have no one to intercede for you. Who is Allah interceding to? The Quran is saying that Allah is an intercessor, but then the Quran is saying there's no one to intercede to. That's a logical, rational contradiction in your Quran. Do you get the point? You understand the logic? Yeah? Have you got an answer?
What chapter you mentioned?
Yeah. Let me give you another example of the same, guys. Right? And then I'm going to stop. These are linguistic blunders of the Quran. Right? In Surah 37, 107, it says this. Surah 37, 107. It says, this is Allah speaking, remember? Right? This is Allah speaking. And we called out to him, O Abraham, thou hast already fulfilled the vision, thus indeed do we reward those who do right. For this was obviously a trial. Who's speaking, brother, in this passage? Allah. Right? It says, we called out to him, O Abraham. Who's that? It's Allah. And then it says, and we ransomed him with a momentous sacrifice. Who is Allah ransoming to? He's ransoming the son of Abraham with a momentous sacrifice to who? Who is above Allah that Allah needs to give a sacrifice to him? Do you get the point? The Quran has got these linguistic blunders because every now and then the human author of the Quran forgets that he's meant to be speaking on the behalf of Allah, and he confuses the persons with which he's speaking to. Do you have an answer to the question I'm raising, bro? So in Surah 37, firstly, are you a Muslim, sir?
No, I'm not like I'm not of the belief that there is no mistake.
So you're a Muslim, but you believe that the Quran's got mistakes in it.
There could be mistakes. It's a historic document.
Fair enough. All right. Yeah. So you might have a get out from my argument then. Yeah, I think you probably do.
I believe it to be a historic document.
So you believe that this could be an error?
There could be many errors. Yes.
Yeah. Well, in that case, this doesn't work with you because if you agree that the Quran can have errors in it, then you can just write this off as an error.
All religious books.
Yeah. So
I'm arguing with the
yeah. Okay. So guys, let me give you another example. Do you have a response to this, bro? Nope, no response. Fair enough.
My translation translates differently.
What does your translation say? Go on. Sorry, what were you saying? Your translation says what? Sorry?
It doesn't say anything about intercessors when I translate my language, Albanian.
Yeah. What does yours say?
It doesn't really say anything. It says,
doesn't say anything?
in terms of...
Bro, that's a problem.
in terms of whatever you say, it doesn't say that.
Yeah, so what does your translation say?
He created the earth and everything else.
Which passage are you in? Let's go back to that passage. 32.
You see, what is happening to Muslims is nothing but what happens to people when they do copy and paste from a book they don't understand. Muslims don't believe that Jesus is God in flesh. Muslims don't believe that the God of the Old Testament said in the book of Hosea, I will ransom them from the power of grave and I will redeem them from death. They don't believe that Jesus is that same God of the Old Testament who came to redeem men from the power of grave and to save them from the power of death. Jesus said in the book of Matthew chapter 20 verse 28, I have come to pay that ransom. I have come to fulfill my promise of paying the ransom for them, to redeem them from the power of death and to save them from grave. They don't believe all these things. Now tell me, how can they understand what Allah meant when he said he is going to ransom the son of Abraham from the hand of who, and how will he pay the ransom? You see that? You deny that Jesus is God in flesh, who came to pay the ransom as he made the promise in the Old Testament. You deny that Jesus Christ died on the cross to deliver men, to save them from the power of sin and die. Yet you are talking about Allah paying ransom for the son of Abraham. How? In the hand of who? You cannot explain because it is copied. People cannot explain what they stole. That is the problem. Therefore, I will advise you all to humble yourself that you may be taught for your own salvation. If not, pride will lead many to hell.